Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Xiong. The future of U.S.-Chinese relations may well hinge on disputes in a distant sea where the United States has no direct claims of sovereignty or unique maritime rights. The South China Sea is arguably at the crux of future U.S.-China great power relations. In addition to the critical Taiwan issue, the South China Sea is the arena where competing paradigms are clashing and the chance of war is more likely than anywhere else. While China views the South China Sea as the cornerstone on which to make its ambition to become a superpower concrete, the United States sees the dispute as a key part of its security strategy and the goal of strengthening alliances and strategic partnerships in the region. The Biden administration is unlikely to seek confrontation with China the way that President Donald Trump's administration did. Yet, the current administration should seriously consider continuing some of the current U.S. strategies in the South China Sea, including strong support for association of Southeast Asian nations aka ASEAN states, strong condemnation of China's illegal actions in the disputed sea, and the support for disputants' deterrence by denial capabilities. In any case, the administration should make it clear to China that the United States will not be leaving the region anytime soon. The U.S. government's primary interests in the South China Sea are to maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific region and to deny China the ability to dominate the maritime arena. More specifically, the United States seeks to guarantee trade routes and free sea lanes, strengthen defense ties with its allies and partners in the region, and balance China's rising power. The official maritime objectives of the Department of Defense are to safeguard freedom of navigation for maritime vessels as recognized by the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, deter conflict and coercion, and promote states to pursue international law. Until recently, the U.S. position had been deliberately ambiguous, taking no position on the validity of specific sovereignty claims. The U.S. government only expressed concern that China was not following the rule-based order set by the law of the sea. The United States had also done relatively little in response to the 2016 arbitration ruling in favor of the Philippines and against Chinese actions in the South Sea. This changed in July 2020 when U.S. Secretary of State Michael Pompeo announced his strong support of the ruling, chastising China's claim as completely unlawful, and suggesting that the United States could come to the defense of the disputants if targeted by China. As Washington looks to counter Beijing's ambitions, one good idea is to unleash the U.S. Coast Guard, which could and should play a larger role in preserving orders in the Pacific. The recent appearance of a 200-ship Chinese fishing flotilla in the South China Sea, loitering in Beijing-claimed waters and intimidating regional states shows the urgency of addressing China's maritime predations. The U.S. and Taiwan took a good first step last month by signing an agreement that will allow the two countries' coast guards to work together more closely. Beijing immediately denounced the U.S.-Taiwan Memorandum of Understanding. Earlier this year, China enacted a law authorizing its own Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels entering its territorial waters, which it defines far more extensively than those recognized by international law. This is Beijing's latest foray into the gray zone, the space between peace and war that has become the preferred operating environment for the world's tyrannies. From Russia's use of little green men to infiltrate Crimea and eastern Ukraine, and Iran's reliance on proxy militias across the Middle East, to China's long-standing use of its fishing fleet, revisionist powers seize ambiguity to test Western resolve and rewrite the global order in their favor. China's Coast Guard is the world's largest. Beijing has long viewed it as a tool for injecting Earth's uncertainty into encounters at sea. Beijing exploits the ostensibly civilian status of such vessels to press its territorial claims while pretending not to be escalating conflicts. Many observers have noted the similarity between Chinese Coast Guard and naval vessels. The only difference is the color scheme. The Chinese Coast Guard operates throughout the South China and East China Sea and has recently been expanding its presence in the Pacific Island. Thus, the case for expanding the role of the U.S. Coast Guard. The smallest of the U.S. military services by budget, the Coast Guard is best known for missions of mercy, saving stranded mariners or rescuing natural disaster victims. Its work also includes guarding oil platforms in the Persian Gulf, conducting drug interdictions in the Caribbean, and operating in the Arctic. Commanded by the Department of Homeland Security rather than the Pentagon, except in wartime, and imbued with law enforcement powers, a Coast Guard vessel and its crew are well suited to counter malign activity from their Chinese counterparts. As China's Coast Guard attempts to enforce territorial claims against American allies such as Japan and the Philippines and partners such as Taiwan and Vietnam, the U.S. Coast Guard can offer invaluable support. As a quasi-military service, its presence can help ease confrontation at sea while deterring Chinese aggression. The Coast Guard's new Legend-class national security cutter is powerful enough to be the premier warship in most navies. Yet, the Coast Guard doesn't get the resource it deserves. The service conducts a range of missions. Demands are increasing on its ships, aircraft, and personnel. But the budget is a paltry $12 billion compared with $160 billion for the Navy. The Biden administration should ask Congress for additional money to cover current missions, but also to add missions in the Indo-Pacific. The Coast Guard should expand its forward deployed presence in the region, operating from bases in Japan and Guam, or from a new facility proposed for American Samoa. China's gray zone operations pose a serious threat to the free and open Indo-Pacific that the U.S. has pledged to safeguard. A well-prepared U.S. Coast Guard, operating with allies and partners in the contested waters of East Asia and the Western Pacific, would be a powerful counterweight to Beijing's territorial ambitions. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly.